Super excited to announce we will now have RGB landscape lighting. This is Jacob Godar with Scooters Lawn Care here in Cape Coral, Florida. And we are always looking to see how we can bring more value to our clients, how we can bring them better services, how we can bring better products. We know that these RGB lights that we're going to be bringing into this market and starting to use are going to be an exceptional product as well and give you a lot of versatility in your project. So first of all, landscape lighting is beautiful. It has so many features to it. It's a beautiful aesthetic. You spend so much to get a project done at your house. If you're doing a bunch of landscaping around the home, it's very easy to spend $5, $10, $20, $30, $40,000, maybe more. I mean, people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on their landscape. The biggest downfall to me has always been if we spend all this money on having a beautiful landscape, we can only see it during the day. Everything is extremely dark down here at night, and you don't get any of that accent at night. That's where landscape lighting comes in. Landscape lighting makes a dramatic effect on all of your landscaping that you've just had installed. Your tall palms, it adds depth, it adds color, it adds such a cool wash of light up into the canopy. It adds depth to your home, wall washing the sides of the house to give depth from the roof down to the ground, path lights to warm and make safety along steps, along driveways so you can see what's going on. There's no trip hazards. I mean, it's an aesthetic, it's a safety, it's security. You don't have as many dark areas where you can't really see in a backyard or you can't really see over there. They can be well lit, and it just adds so much to your home. But to talk about RGB lighting and what we're going to be offering, I want to tell you about this product. And we're going to talk about the pluses and minuses. But this is going to give you the ability to have multi-color lights, meaning if you get it installed, you want warm white, you have that. You also have a whole color array for different colors on all of your fixtures. You could have blues, you could have reds, you could have pinks, you could have so many different options. This is very, very cool because if you want to do something for Halloween, if you want to do something for a sports game, if you want to do something for Christmas, but you want it to be very, very easy, it's going to be as simple as going out and taking a remote and changing each one of the lights. This is what's really cool about this. And so far, what we're seeing with this technology, this is going to be one of the most reliable systems because there's a lot of different options out there. You can change them with a remote. They can be Bluetooth activated where you have to create a net or web throughout all the fixtures and then change them with an app on your phone. And then there's also ones that are Wi-Fi, and then you've got to actually have Wi-Fi coming from the house so you can control and do different sections of lights. So far, what we're seeing is the ones that are controlled with the remote, we see less issues, we see less problems, and they're an extremely cool product. This product that we're going to be offering is made by Lumion, and we're sending our whole team to do training on Lumion next month for several days to really look into these new products, see what all is coming out, see the options and what we can bring to market to up our landscape lighting. Because landscape lighting is a huge portion of what we do, but we've never really offered color unless we just switch out some bulbs. And second, brightness is a thing to consider if you're talking about an RGB fixture. If you don't have a static light, meaning a static color, warm white, blue, red, all one, using the whole light, using that whole bulb or that whole LED set, it's not going to be as bright. So the same bulb, same watts, is not going to put out the same power of light when it's RGB, because instead of being all red, it's going to have all that color array in that light. Does that mean it's a lot more dim? No, it doesn't mean it's a lot more dim, but it means it's something to consider when you're having them installed on your property, that they're not going to cast as much light with the same watts as a static color light. So brightness is something to consider, not that big of an issue, but you have to think about it when you're thinking about how many fixtures do I need on this project. And finally, RGB systems in general. It's new technology to the market. It's something that you're going to have a hiccup every now and then. There's going to be probably a little bit more maintenance, but a little bit more tweaking here and there to keep your system running perfectly. And it's something that I always try to tell all of our clients, as much about the bad things as the good things. This doesn't mean that they're junk. This doesn't mean that this is necessarily going to be something you're doing all the time. It's just a forewarning that they are more complicated than your standard static color fixture. And there could be a few hiccups that you need us to come out and assess and fix along the way over the lifetime of having the fixtures. But if you know all of this, if you take into account that there will be a little more maintenance, still not as much as if you had back in the day when you had halogen bulbs, there's going to be a little bit difference in brightness, so we're going to have to account and allocate our fixtures a little bit differently because they're not going to be as bright as a static bulb. If you take those two things into account, you're going to really have an awesome system that gives you the ability to change color and do so much for your outdoor landscape lighting. So I'm so happy to announce this. I'm so happy to be working with a new distributor getting all of this. It's going to be a great thing for us, our service, our install, because we do so so much lighting. We already on our lanai lighting have RGB fixtures. Now from our lanai lighting to our dock lighting to our landscape lighting, you're going to be able to have whatever color you want.